I don't like make it up when I get here. Like I make the links on like Tuesday. And then I'm like, okay, it's on. All right. So we're getting to shoulder work today. In external rotation and protraction. So 2 things you need to learn for today. 1, take your hands out in front of you. Yeah, that's super good. Yep. So then you squeeze your shoulder blades together, but your arms stay straight. And then push your hands like towards the front of them. Your shoulder blades move away from each other. So shoulder blades come together. That's retraction. Then shoulder blades move away from each other, and that's protraction. So we do this sometimes on hands and knees. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Your shoulder blade should move on your rib cage, forward and back. If it's getting stuck, we're gonna move it. We're gonna try to move it. Sometimes things get stuck because we don't move them a lot. Sometimes we just forget how to move them. So I try to teach you how to remember to move it. That's protraction and retraction. Now, I put my hands on my hips like this. Lots of people like to stand like this when they talk to me, tell me about their shoulders. This is internal rotation. So my arm rolled in and my elbows went out. Then when you take your arms overhead, people think that this is external rotation because their elbows are out, but it's still internal rotation. Internal rotation, elbows go out. External rotation, elbows come in. It's like backwards. I know that's complicated, but think like internal rotation, external rotation. So when I take that overhead, internal rotation, my elbows go out to the sides. So when I'm like this, in internal rotation, and I try to push the ground away, it makes my shoulders come up on my ears. And then the yoga teachers say, take your shoulders away from your ears. But now I'm in a fight because that's how I got them up there. This makes the bicep tendon get stuck. And if I keep doing that, I will aggravate it. And I'll be like, man, the front of my shoulders are really bothering me. The more I practice, I don't know, maybe I'm getting stronger, but the front of my shoulder hurts. So if I take my arms instead out, external rotation, so the elbows go in, and then I push away, I clear that bicep tendon in the occipital groove. Take my arms overhead, and then I'm free. But holding your arms in external rotation and protraction is really, really hard. Because this is not as common as this. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So working this feeling means then I can arm balance really well. Now, when you see like someone open up their chest, like in a down dog, if I were gonna take my downward facing dog and roll my elbows so they face towards you guys, and then I can bend my elbows and straighten them, and they come down towards the floor. This is the feeling, and my shoulder blades move away from each other that I want when I try to press through my arms. My shoulder blades still move away from each other, and I move through my arms. That means that the spine moves, and I'm not just moving in my shoulders. It's so hard. And the spine is processed, like the sticky outy bits that you feel in your spine, in your, like, where your ribs are. So like, all the way up at the top, under the collarbone, down to like 12th rib here. That whole space in the spine, those spinous processes, they sit like one on top of the other like shingles on the roof. So when you have shingles on the roof, you're trying to like back bend, the shingles bang into each other, which could be like, I feel stuck. Ooh. But your shingles hit each other and they're not letting you go anymore. So we see how much shingle opening we can get, how much space we can make. But I have, my shingles like don't line up so good. So that's called scoliosis. I got a little scoliosis. My shingles don't match up. So I got lots of space. So maybe a little bit genetics, a little bit scoliosis, a little bit of like working my yoga for 20 years. Figured out where that stuff meets together. So for you, as you're learning this like external rotation and protraction and then trying to move my spine on stable arms, just know that like, this could be my shingles. This could be genetics, that my fascia is more collagen than elastin. It's got more like spiking than temple dancers.
So you're saying like when I max out on my back bend, that's as far as I'm ever gonna get?
You'll have a limit eventually. Genetically.
I've been trying as hard as I can for like 10 years, so I think I'm pretty much maxed out.
So genetically, there's only so much strengthening potential that I have.
I get it.
I could focus everything I have on my sprinting to really figure out what that is. Most people don't do that. But within you have like your limits. Not bad things. Hey, so many things to focus on. So, since arms in front of us, we can make these movements. Yes, we're familiar with this. We're gonna be doing some of this stuff. We're gonna definitely be putting some weight into the hands today, working on some of that shoulder mobility and like feeling. So before we do, I'm gonna have you guys come to your comfortable seated position. And just notice like as you sit where your shoulders just naturally rest on the body. Back of the neck stays nice and long. And as you breathe nice and deep in and out through the nose, you take that awareness of the arms and the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and the back of the body, and wrap around you, encompassing that heart chakra. And your arms are an extension of your love. And we use them to create, to draw in, to bring food to our mouths. So whether you're loving some delicious food, a creation, something you care about, maybe these arms are defending. Creating a space where you can be open and strong. Working the dance between the two. If there's an intention, you set that down. Anyone that you'd like to dedicate or offer your time and practice to. Letting your eyes open. On your inhale, take both arms, reaching up towards the sky, make some circles in your wrist. Stretch your fingers. Release your arms at your sides. Come forward over your knees, tabletop position. From your tabletop position on an inhale, look up, let your belly drop down, arch your back. Good, now on an exhale, chin to the chest, push the ground away. Feel the way your shoulder blades move away from each other. Hold there. Hold that upper body, start to tip your hips, so your butt starts to tip up towards the sky, but your shoulder blades stay away from each other. Good, and then it goes low back, middle back, and then it gets to upper back, bring your shoulder blades together through your arms to your chest, pulls through, you look up. Good, and then draw your chin to your chest, hold everything else. Go your chin to your chest, start to push your shoulder blades away from each other. Then pull that heart space in, upper back, middle back, lower back, tailbone tucks in. Super slow from your hips. Hips tip, everything else stays the same. Upper back stays pushing the ground away. Keep pushing the ground away. Good. Then you get up to that middle back, the shoulder blades start to come together. And the sternum pulls through. It goes like down towards the floor and then towards the front of the room. Shoulder blades are together. Your head goes up towards the sky. Maybe push your eyeballs. Then draw your chin into your chest. Start to push the ground away, but don't move your body back. You isolate. This is my shoulders and upper back moving. And then this is my low belly moving, and this is my hips moving. Good, and then finding that isolation 2 more times from the hips. You start to move, shoulder blades stay away from each other. Then you move low back, then middle back, then upper back. Chest pulls through, head turns up, eyes look up. And chin comes in, back of the neck gets long, but everything else stays. And your upper back moves, everything else stays. And your lower back moves. Then your hips. Last time, from the hips, creating a movement, let it ride up, slow, slow, slow. Everybody does their part. Each vertebrae on its way, head lifts up. And then chin comes into the chest, and you push the ground away and find that upper back, middle back, lower back, tailbone tucks under. Good, turn the eyes and the elbows forward as best you can while your palms are on the ground. So fingers face forward. You're gonna try to move from your arm bone to turn the eyes and the elbows forward. So like your elbows, if they were gonna bend, would bend towards the back of the room. Good, holding that, you tuck your toes and lift your knees up. Just hold the arms in that position. It's hard. Keep trying to roll the arms externally from the arm bone. Elbows turn towards each other. Yeah. Good. Now, as you start to stick your butt up towards the sky, keep your shoulder blades moving away from each other, the eyes level forward. See how far you can get in the direction of a down dog so that your upper back stays in cat and your lower back tips like cow. So then you have like a cat-cow dog. Good. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Come to a forward fold with the back of the knee. Feet about hips distance apart. Fingers around your elbows. Chin into your chest. Rock the body. Pull it back. A little bit left and right. Fingers on it. Yeah. Yep. The only way I guess for your fingers to come to your elbow is if it grabs the other elbow, right? So maybe I'm gonna have to say that. You can't take your right hand to your right elbow. That would be fun. Everyone try to touch the same arm and elbow. Oh, nope, not gonna happen. Alright, release your hands back down on the floor. Walk it back out, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, come forward like plank position. Push the ground away. A lot. Upper back is lifted. You let your shoulder blades come together, your arms stay straight. And then push your shoulder blades away from each other, arms stay straight. Yeah, moving in that upper back space. If this is too much weight, lower your knees down. Shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades apart. So shoulder blades together, that's retraction. Shoulder blades apart, that's protraction. Good. 2 more. Shoulder blades together, retraction. So not so far out over your fingers. Get that a little bit from here, this drops down. Yep, protraction. Now hold protraction. So less up here. Good. That stays low. Yes, so. 4, 3, push the ground away. 2, and 1. Knees lower, down. Good. Puppy pose. Butt stays over your knees. Walk your hands forward. And then allow your palms to face each other. Bring your elbows to face in. So my elbows keep turning in to face each other. As I reach those arms nice and long, butt stays over the hips. And then reach through your arms actively, like you're really, really, really trying to reach through those fingers, like a marble under the couch. Good, now can you imagine that my thumbs are right between your shoulder blades and they're pressing that vertebra down towards the floor. Good, and if your arms were rolling in, this would get really pinchy. So we actively, from the armpit space, try to turn those arms up as much as we can, with as much effort as we can. Good, and then releasing. Whether you come forward or back out of that, that's up to you. It's kind of like a kind of space that you can, so you can go right back out. Good, you can move around a little bit in your shoulders. And then take your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, can you round your back like cat pose? Like your tail no longer push the ground away. Then can you stick your butt towards the sky, make like a cow pose, like you're trying to make like a letter C with your back. And then again, try to cat pose it, so like round your back like angry cat while you're in your down dog. And then try to arch your back as much as you can. Good, and now do cat pose with your upper back, and do cow pose with your lower back. And let's see if we can balance the curves of down dog.
Like, am I doing the thing?
Bend the knees, stick your butt up and back. Good, on an inhale, look forward.
As you exhale, hop, step, jump on float, top of the top.
Inhale, half a lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Take your arms up overhead and find a little back bend. Squeeze your butt, press those hips forward. Bring your hands back to heart center. Good. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Reach up, find your back bend. Press the hips forward, squeeze your butt. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down towards your earth. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. So find that lower end hold. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall tree. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good, on your next inhale, come forward, plank position. Exhale, lower all the way down, touch down. So, with that touch down, hands go to mid-ribs. So like pretty low. Elbows hugging towards your sides. Tuck your toes under. Good. Lift your thighs up off the ground. Now see if you can pull your belly button back towards your spine. So pull your low belly off the ground. Like a plunger. You just like pull it in. Yes. Now with those toes tucked under, that means curled under, thighs lifted, belly in. See if you can push yourself 4 inches off the floor as one piece. Good. And then you push up 6 inches. Don't let your butt go up in the air first. Keep that body in a straight line. Then 8 inches. Back down to 4, 6, 10. All the way up, high five. Hips to the sky, down facing dog. It's so valuable to struggle on the floor. to learn the movements. Whoa, inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump off, float, top of the Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine, stick your butt out, pull your low belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, arms up, overhead, a little relaxation. Exhale, forward fold. Now back down here. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, forward plank. Everybody lower your knees down. Good, now instead of a tabletop, I want you to be like a plank. So make sure your knees are back far enough that your butt, from your shoulders to your hips to your knees, you can create like a straight line. So no sticking your butt out. There you go. Excellent. Now, body weight shifts forward into your fingers, grip the ground. And you're gonna lower your thighs down on the floor before your belly, but your elbows bend. So chaturanga, with your elbows bend and your thighs lower. Good, and then press up, upward facing dog. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. One more time, come forward, left position. Lower the knees down. Get that butt out of the air, tuck it under. Your body weight moves forward. You lower the thighs down. Yep, and then from the thighs lower and down, we try to like hold that chaturanga. The thighs touch before the belly, and then press up, upward facing dog. Good, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. And you build way more strength towards chaturanga with that than you're gonna do with keeping your butt up in the air. Teaching the body to stay in that peace for those strong moments. It is tough, right? It's deceiving itself. On your next inhale, come forward, a plank position. Now we lower down onto the forearms, forearm plank. Push the ground away. So your elbows hug in, and you push the ground away, and you're teaching your body external rotation and protraction. Good. Now with those hands down, you can separate your feet a little wider. That makes it a little easier. I want you to think every muscle needed to hold this shape is going to hold its shape while the right arm reaches forward. And then comes back down to the floor. And if you just stuck your butt up in the air, you did it wrong. Right? If you had to move your butt from left to right, you did it wrong. So I would rather you struggle and not move your arm than pull any kind of like distortion. Left arm reaches. Maybe it just slides a little on the floor and then comes back. Good. And then right arm reaches. And then it comes back. And then left arm reaches. Lower that butt. Back to center. And then lower to the floor. So sometimes our proprioception like plays tricks on us and lets us think that we're laying pretty flat even when we're not, and that we're holding these shapes. I promise when you start to try to like arm balance in these things, gravity is gonna let you know exactly where you really are. Let's transition from that forearm plank back to a child's pose and then downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, on an inhale, look forward. As you exhale, hop step, jump off, low top of mat. Inhale, half a lift. Exhale, forward fold. Put your hands on the ground. Put some weight in your hands. Lift your right leg up in the air. Hips stay even, just like we practice all the time, right? Now, if you're leaning all your weight onto that left side, you're gonna fall, okay? So, even out the weight in your hands. Feel both hands pressing evenly. palms pressing down. You might have to move your hands forward or your foot back, right? To get that weight in your hands. But you're gonna need it, because now I want you to jump up and switch the legs in the air, and I want you to slow it down so you don't sound like a herd of elephants. Yeah, that's it. Jump, switch your legs. Land softly. Jump, switch your legs. 10, 9, like a handstand. 8, jump up, press the hands down, push the ground away. 6, 5, 4, 3, press the hands down. 2, and 1. Good. Knees down, knees down, sit back. Little child's pose. So we're pushing the ground away in protraction and external rotation. If your arms roll in, your bones go back, and you feel like you're gonna fall. So when you might feel like your heart rate starts to increase because as you like jump and try to switch the legs, it's cardiovascularly exhilarating.
We're holding our breath while doing that too. You're not even thinking about it.
Probably you're holding your breath, which makes it very hard to move as well. So makes you like puff and puff, very good. Yeah, and then there's a part of it that's like, I'm not kicking up hard and then flipping over. Or I'm not kicking up really hard into something that I'm not super confident in. So then I don't kick up all the way. Because I don't trust my arms. Like, I don't believe you that you're gonna hold me. So then the whole experience becomes like, well, I kind of, yeah, I tried. So maybe the worry about like, will I be able to handle this? It's like too great. And then if it's really scary, and I try anyway, and I don't make it, it'll be terrible. If I try really hard and I do make it, the scariest part about holding the handstand is that it gets easy. Wait a minute, this doesn't feel like working anymore? Something must be wrong. Quickly, come down. So there's all different places on the spectrum to be with this. Be like, you know what? I'm working through an injury, and this is a smart thing for me to just like tip my toe in. And I'm working through like something new. Or I haven't done this before, so I want to be really mindful about how I step into it. If you're like, I can hold down dog for a long time, I hold my planks really well, I can like stabilize as I reach forward. Okay, we kind of start kicking up a little bit. So, grab the palms down, touch your toes, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. We're gonna do that one more go. Get those feet up towards your hands. Keep pressing your hands into the floor. So when you get to a spot where you're like, ooh, I can't keep my hands down and get my feet any closer, then you're too close. I need the weight in your hands. If we're gonna jump, we don't want to jump with the hands not connected. 2, you gotta get your shoulders out over your wrists, which means that your fingers are gonna have to work like crazy. You're gripping the floor. Then you have to jump and hold your core in and your hips even, and see if you can like just like float for a second. So give it a switch. 10, 9. Keep pushing the ground away so much. 8. Strong arms. 7. Don't bend your elbows. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Excellent. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bend your arms up overhead, your little back punch. Exhale and forward fold. Take those hands down here. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, comes down. Step, jump, walk, or float it back. Chaturanga, dandasana. Inhale, up, drop. Exhale, down. Good, right leg up in the air, 3 legged down, dog, bend the knee, open the head. Step your right foot through between your hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Good, both sides are rolling out. Right knee pulls towards the baby toe side. Everybody, roll your fingers towards your internal rotation. And then roll those arms out, external rotation. Good, and then again, forward, internal rotation. And then roll them out, external rotation. Hold external rotation. Turn just the palms down. Which means that the arm didn't have to move. This is my arm moving with my palm. This is my arm moving, or my palm moving without my shoulder. Turn your right palm up towards the sky. Exhaling back, reverse shoulder. Keep bending deep into the right knee. Good, and then see if you can pull the left ribs back towards the right side, because I don't want you to back here. I want you to side bend as much as you can. Good, reach up and back to that elbow space as much as you can. Good, inhale back to center, warrior two. Good, bring your hands to your hips. Check in with that left hand. See if your left hand is in line with your toes or your heels. If it's in line with your toes, pull your hips back so it's in line with your heel. Now your butt cheek has to work to do that. And then your right knee may have collapsed in, so like pull that back as well. That means that you don't get to hang on the front of your left hip. I want it to be strong. Get those arms back out to the sides. Right hand down inside the right foot. Left arm up towards the sky. Roll the left arm in, internally rotate. And then bend your elbow so it goes behind your back. Yeah. You can stay right there, turning your chest towards the sky. If you want, that bottom arm also rolls in. Take that hand underneath your knee and bend your elbow. Maybe you get the bind. And if both arms are rolling in a lot and you get your bind, you can squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then whether you're bound or not, we'll all step forward to the top of the mat. Shift your weight into the left leg and lift your right leg up off the ground. So not being bound, it just looks like standing on your left foot with your right knee to your chest. Breathe. Smile. Maybe extend the right leg up long. Stand up really, really straight. Good. Carefully, mindfully, bring that right foot back down as much grace as you came in. Step the left foot back. If you're bound, release your body. Press down to the feet. Right back up, warrior two. Straightening your right leg. Hands on your hips. This is a little wide for triangle pose. If you like a little narrower stance, you can like bring it back there and bend it. But you gotta be able to move your hips. So from this position, can you move your hips? If you're stuck, then we're stuck. We don't get any movement. From that place, you can move your hips. Tip your left hip up in the air as high as you can. And then reach that right arm out as long as you can. And then that right arm comes down, maybe on the block of the foot, or maybe you grab your big toe. And then the left arm reaches up towards the sky. Maybe it goes behind your back. If it goes behind your back, it rolls in. And you reach for the inner thigh of that right leg. Just keep turning your chest, turning your chest. Pressing down to the feet, release that left arm. Press down to the feet, rise all the way back up to the stand. Rebend into the right knee, front with your hands on the floor, step back and forward. Plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana on the exhale. Pause there. Hold it whether your knees are up or down. Don't let that shoulder get below your elbow. Push the ground away, at least 8 inches from the floor. Come on, lift. Yes. Then inhale, upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, retract. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Find protraction, shoulder blades away from each other, and external rotation, elbows hug in. Left leg, you up in the air, two-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open your hip. Good, step that left foot through between your hands. Inhale and rise up, warrior two on the side. You can draw that low belly a little bit. Relax the shoulders. Keep pulling the low belly in, the low belly in. You guys know who I'm talking to, right? Yeah, you know it. Pull it in so you even it out. If you're like, man, I feel pretty pulled in. Put your hand on your low back and feel there's like a big dip back there, and if there is, then you're like, oh no, she's talking to me. All right. Roll those palms up towards the sky, and then all the way from your arm bone. How far can you get those shoulders to roll down that? And then how far can you get them to come up? And how far can you get them to go back? And we're just feeling the difference between internal and external. The next time they externally rotate, the shoulder blades go down your back. Hold the shoulder, just turn your palm down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit while you reach out a little bit. All the muscles of the shoulder down. Turn your left palm up towards the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, lean back in reverse warrior. Let's make it a side bend, not a back bend. So pull those left ribs back and breathe into your ribs. I get so many like COVID clients, just can't seem to get a breath anymore. Side angle. Lift from those ribs. Inhale back through center. Left hand down inside the left leg. Right arm flip towards the sky. Roll the right arm in. Take it behind your back. Left arm. Roll it in first. Then underneath the leg. Yeah, reach for those fingers. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. Turning your chest towards that sidewall as much as you can. Yeah. And whether you're bound or not, we all step forward to the top of the mat. Shift the weight into the right leg. Now the left leg lifts up. This is my like not as good side. My left side balances so nicely. The right side is like, trying. Stand up as tall as you can. Maybe you straighten that left leg as much as you can. And then as gracefully as you can. Bring gracefully you step into the left leg, send the right leg back, release the bind. Press down to the feet, rise to stand. Good. Now, shortening up that stance. Just a minute, if you like. Hands on your hips. Like on this side. Can I move my hips? If you cannot move your hips, you're stuck. I don't want you to be stuck. Bend your knees a little bit. Then that right hip lifts up as high as you can. And you reach out as far as you can over that right leg. Reach. And then the left arm down. And the right arm down. And then maybe that arm rolls in behind the back, and the palm like reaches for your inner thigh. Left arm back up towards the sky. Press down through those feet to rise up this thing. Rebend into the left knee, cover those hands down the floor, step it back and slow lower. Chaturanga, Dandasana, find a hover spot. So good. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra, shoulder blades squeeze together, chest pulls through. Exhale back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, are those elbows pointing out to the sides? If they are, see if you can try to roll them in. But fingers still stay forward. So as we keep trying from those shoulder bones to roll the eyes to the elbows forward, lower your elbows maybe towards the floor, and then straighten them out. And then towards the floor, and straighten them out. Your butt stays in your down dog. One more time, lower them towards the floor, and then let them touch down. So now we're just holding this position. You walk your feet in as close as you can. Shoulder blades move away from each other. You push the ground away. Relax. If your shoulder blades are falling together, I'm not going to hold with it. Ready, watch like this. If I'm like, if my shoulder blades start to come together versus staying apart. I want you to keep them apart, keep them apart. Mm-hmm. Good, one leg up in the air. Now, not elbows way out to the side. That's a lot of stress in my shoulders. Elbows under the shoulders. Squeezing those muscles in. Could you jump and switch your legs in the air? For 5. Switch. Yep. 4. Like soft, not like elephant. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Lower your knees down. This time, knees together. So your knees touch. And your arms reach out, puppy pose. Butt stays up in the air. Over the knees. You reach forward, your chest presses down towards the floor. If your chest is on the floor, you can pedal your head up and off. And all the while, pick your butt back up. 3 inches. Butt back, butt back, butt back. There. Yes. Now, holding your butt in that position, reach through your arms. Externally rotate. Shoulder blades move away from each other. And then that space between the shoulder blades. Then your palms to the side. Yeah. And bring it back. Yep. That space between your shoulder blades, imagine my thumbs are there, just like press your chest towards the floor. Right now, here, press this towards the floor. And as gracefully as you like, make your way back. Out. Shake them out, moving the shoulders. Good, now we're taking it off. Iron now, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump wide. Malasana. Hands to our front. Heels stay on the floor. You only go down as deeply as you can hold the heels down. Take your thighs and squeeze them into your elbows. Squeeze, 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 inner thigh activation. Good, now pull your thighs away from each other. And then back to the center. Now pull just the right knee away. And then back to the center. And then pull just the left knee away. Good, back to the center. Squeeze again. You squeeze in. Good. Bring your palms to face forward. Okay, now, shoulder blades move away from each other. Hands press, knees squeeze in. Belly pulls in and up. This is like a very fancy version of crow pose. Yeah, you're in crow pose. So round your back like you're in crow pose. And squeeze your heels towards your butt like you're in crow pose. And squeeze your inner thighs against your arms like you're in crow pose. Good, and then relax. Take your hands down to the floor. We're gonna straighten those legs. Rock a little side to side. The weight stays in your hands. Good, put those hands down on the floor. Elbows, like lean your way forward into your fingers. Elbows start to bend. Knees come towards the outsides of the arms. Squeeze the knees in towards each other. See if you can pull those heels towards your butt and hover. And if you're holding your crow pose that way, I want you to lean your weight into the right arm, lift the left knee up, and then put it back. And then lean your weight into your left arm and lift your right knee up. And then put it back. And then take a break. Awesome. So, what we're working on are our balances. If your elbow bends back towards the floor, this is a very hard place within this angle to balance on. So if my hand and my elbow squeeze in, but I'm trying to stack over nothing, empty space, very hard. If I can get my elbow over my wrist And then the weight to stack through my elbow, oh, way more possible. But it's so scary. But you're not gonna make it. So, everybody find the wall. You're gonna get back to the wall. Not the windows, back to a wall. You don't need your mat. Just gonna be for a second. Go stand against the wall. Meet a neighbor. Hello, neighbor. My name is, because they don't know your name either. Okay? You just tell your people your name no matter what. Yes. So, heels as close to the wall as you can take them. Good. Now, slowly forward fold. Feel the way your toes start to grip the shit out of the floor. Does everyone feel their toes working? Yes. Okay, come on back up. Look at how little those toes are, right? Those little toes, they're just like gripping like crazy. They're like, don't let you fall on your face. That's how your fingers work in arm balances. If your toes were relaxed, try to forward fold and don't activate your toes. It's like impossible, right? You're like, I'm gonna eat. Yeah, my face is gonna hit the floor.
All my foot compensates for that.
Yeah, right? It's like, so if your toes, right, as tiny as they are, can work to keep this, that's what I want you to try to make your fingers do. So one more time, forward fold and look at how hard those toes are working. Do they get like white and like the tips of them press into the floor and the knuckle lifts because it's like, That's what your hand should look like. Okay? Come on back to the floor.
But my calves are all bigger than my forearm.
Not for everybody. Get lots of heathens. So, we're not gonna have to hold it very long. Fingers on the floor. Grip like your toes were gripping. Get your elbow over your wrist from the beginning, not shifting onto it. Get those elbows over the wrist right from the start. Good. Now bend your elbows so your body weight goes forward, not your elbow lowers. Yeah, that's it. I'm like, oh, baby. Don't knock the block over. Yes, yes, yes. Then, did you get a heel? And did you get the other one? And they don't like jump. It was just like when we practiced like balancing. When you stood up, holding your bind or not, you didn't just like jump and hope that your leg held you. Like, you found that place. Yes. Could you lean your weight to one side and take a leg away? And you lean to the other side, take the leg away. Yeah, you got it. And then take a rest. Proceed. Legs out long enough in front of you. So when I teach people the slack line, they put their foot on this like 1 inch piece of webbing, and they go, ah. And I'm like, oh yeah, and they love it. They love like that moment of like, oh, almost. So I tell them they have to go up and over the slack line so that they land on this side. So you want me to fall on purpose, like all the way to the other side. Because if you don't ever find the other side, you're not gonna find like where the balance actually happens. So this like, I'm so afraid of falling. I know, but it's actually what teaches you where the stop is. We just try to control it, make it as little as possible. So as they press, find where the energy needs to go. So, great. Sitting, legs on, arms up to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold out of the toes. What is it like for you? Working things like our boxes. Or like the things that come up. Where does your head go when it gets hard? Are you excited? Ooh, so exciting. You notice your improvements. I'm doing this better than I did last time. I learned this new thing. I found this new place. I understand this a little better. Or are you like, still not there yet? Oh, see, you still can't do it. Those things matter. Good, on your inhale, come back to center. Take those hands back behind. You can turn your hands any way that you like, reverse plank or reverse tabletop. So reverse tabletop, my knees bent. And I lift my hips up, trying to get my hips into my shoulders. Reverse plank, the same thing, except my legs are long. So I lift up and I take the whole bit. A little harder to do though. Reverse plank. Reverse tabletop is like a space in between. Don't let your head drop back if you like. You'll know right away if that was a good idea. And if it wasn't, bring your chin back in. Then nice and slow, bring yourself back to center, legs out long. Good, and then the fingertips alongside you, bring your knees into your chest, hold your Navasana, boat pose. Knees squeeze in towards each other. Legs straighten out as best you can. Arms can be alongside the legs, they can hold on to the legs, they can reach overhead. Good, now let your boat sink. And then pull it back up to center. Good, and then let your boat sink. And then pull it back up. And then sink. And pull. And then sink. And then pull. One more, let it sink. And then pull. Come back to center for the feet down the right. And left on your back. My friend Jill and I talk often about like rowing our boats. Like, you know, you have your people in your boat with you. You gotta identify like who's putting holes in your boat. Like, hey, no putting holes in our boat. Or out of the boat you go. You got like, who are the people that are rowing with you? Or like making it easier. If you got somebody in your life, a boat rower, you go down. Come back into your Navasana. Your hands alongside your body, that's what it's like. If your boat rower is two-legged or four-legged or one-legged or no-legged, but we're gonna do 10. Go sink, go lift, and your boat rower, they help you. They help you come up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold those knees together. 9 and 10. 9. It's time. You can do the reverse plank. You can do a bridge, or you can do your wheel. If you're doing wheel, we're trying to find external rotation and push the ground away extension as much as you can. Think about holding those elbows together. Or you can lift one leg up if you want.
I was like, oh yeah, let me try.
Nice and slow, lower yourself, bring yourself back down, upper wheel and lower back.
That was nice.
Down. Good, hands behind your head, legs up towards the sky. Right knee bends, left leg lowers almost to the floor. Right knee stays over your right hip, not towards your chest. So, ready? Both legs up. Hands behind your head. elbows wide. Good, right knee bends. Good, left leg lowers almost towards the floor. And straight. Yeah, covers out the floor. Now, left elbow goes to your right knee. Just that way. Yeah, all the way up and over. Yeah. 20, back down. 19, stay on the same side. 17, 16, same side. So left elbow to the right knee, but you keep doing left elbow to the right knee. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Who's your boat rower? 9, 8, have them help you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If they're not like, change it up. You should not ever just be like, oh, that was easy. Both legs back up, other side. Both legs up. Left knee bends. Left knee stays over the head. Right leg lowers, almost to the floor. Good. Now, the right elbow goes towards the left knee, and it's still the rest of the body.
You don't even try it?
Oh, that was way better. Now you try. 19.
You watch me.
18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, lift up and over, 10, 9, 8, 7, elbows stay wide, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feel the burn. Good. One more back bend choice. Your hands are going underneath you in your bridge. You can roll those arms internally. Get your palms to touch. Press your pinkies to the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest up. You're going for your wheel. Elbows externally rotate. Squeeze your elbows in. Shoulder blades protract. Push through the arms. Like we did in puppy pose. Yes. How nice can you make this feel? So feel good. Don't squeeze in with your inside. Arms are strong and straight. That's all. Otherwise, your elbows are bent so much. Once they straighten, okay.
Yeah.
We're going stacked. Yeah. And your own time, lower and down, upper middle and lower back. Good, bring your knees in your chest, give yourself a little massage on your lower back. The further your knees come into your chest, the further up your back that massage goes. The further your knees move away from your chest, the lower it goes. I get my knees far enough away, I can just massage my butt cheeks on the ground. It feels amazing. Give yourself a little self-massage. And then cross the right knee on top of the left knee. Let both knees fall over towards the left side and take your right arm out to the right side. Other way, right on top of the left. Yeah. Good, and then we're bringing those knees in towards our chest as best we can. And then over to the side as best we can. Get as much rotation as feels good. And then back is down. We do the same in the opposite direction. So you left knee over the right. Both knees towards the right side. You bring it to your chest a bit. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's good. And then back to center of the knee, come to the chest, you give yourself a nice hug. Good, hands inside the knee, grab onto the soles of the feet, happy baby pose. So when you're happy baby, your knees pull down towards the floor. Rock and go side to side, smiling, so nice, like this a lot. You can work on straightening one leg. One leg maybe straighten. Back, the other one maybe straighten. That's real nice. And then releasing those legs into the chest. Good, some of those legs out long. Put your arms overhead, give yourself a good long stretch. Fingers to toes. Stretch, like you mean it. Stretch, 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 stretch. Now, keep stretching with those arms. Press your heels forward towards the front of the room. And stretch even more. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Stretch your right arm and your left leg extra, and then stretch your left arm and your right leg extra. Stretch, stretch, and release. Good. Relax your arms alongside your body. Pick your hips up and set them back down. Like reset them. Let your legs fall open. Good. Now, pick your right shoulder up off the ground. Roll your shoulder blade underneath you. Turn your right palm up towards the sky. Good. Then do the same thing with the left one. And now, if when you do that, you ended up with your ribs way up towards the ceiling. See if you can keep your shoulders as they are, and then use your exhales to soften your ribs back to the floor. So that the shoulders are not on the back of your body because your back muscles are working. Just place them there. How heavy can you get? How soften the jaw and the face.
Beginning to breathe life back into your fingers and your toes. Moving in your wrists and your ankles. Give yourself one more great big long stretch, 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 stretch. And exhale. Keep that right arm up over your head. Bring the sole of the left foot down on the floor. Press down into that left foot. Push yourself over onto your right side, resting there with Corapolis, full baby on your right side. That right elbow makes like a little pillow for your head. When you think about the one in your life that you do it all for. Two-legged, four-legged, one-legged, no-legged. Here on this earth or passed on. That our lives might always touch their lives. But only for the better. Always for the better. Bringing that left hand down onto the floor. Use it to prop yourself up so you're on like your right elbow. So you're like sitting up on your right elbow. And this is like the halfway lift. So you're just like still on your right side. Like James Bond, model in bed. What is it, James? Just like hanging there. Good. And then start to push into those hands to rise up. Walk those hands out and forward so you can roll over onto your seated position. Rather than having to jerk up in like a back into your abs. Yeah, you could like play with that. It's like a, how do I use my top leg to roll myself up? As little ease, with as much ease as possible. Bringing those hands to heart center, we'll close our practice together with the sound of Om in unison. Exhaling. Inhaling. Humbly with joy and gratitude, I thank you all so very much for coming today and sharing the practice with me. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody at home. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Woo woo, level 2.